Hello and welcome. My name is Loraine Martinez Bellamy. I'm an attorney at the Connecticut Fair Housing Center. And today we're going to be talking about your post-forbearance options for VA loans. So loans guaranteed by the Veterans Affairs. And this is for folks that have experienced a COVID-19 hardship and are now trying to figure out what to do moving forward. So the COVID-19 forbearance, if you're not familiar with it, is a temporary pause or reduction of your monthly mortgage payment available to borrowers who experience a pandemic-related financial hardship. The VA forbearances are available until the end of the national emergency. Right now, that's October 15th of 2022, but it's likely to be extended through 2023. The term of the forbearance is a 6-month initial forbearance, and there's a second 6-month forbearance available upon request for a total of a 12-month forbearance. Your first post-forbearance option, if you have a VA loan, is a repayment plan. A repayment plan is available for borrowers who can afford their old payment, so you do not desire to change the terms of your payment, and you can afford to pay back a little extra every month in order to pay down the arrearage. So to pay down your outstanding delinquent payments from when you were in the forbearance. The terms are the plan will be 3 months or more, and it really is a matter of you and your servicer figuring out what the best option is for you in terms of a repayment plan. You want to make sure that what you're agreeing to is affordable long term. So your servicer will determine the total arrearage due and spread the additional payments over a certain amount of months. So of course, if you only missed a few months, your forbearance may only be a year long. Your repayment plan may only be a year long. However, if you missed 6 months, 12 months, 18 months, your repayment plan may end up being much longer. The details of the repayment plan will be agreed to in writing and monitored monthly by the servicers. So if you have informally been sending extra every month, you want to contact your servicer and get a written agreement on the books that explicitly lays out how you intend to repay the outstanding payments so that you can protect yourself from being reported as delinquent or from there being any misunderstanding between you and the servicer. VA post-forbearance option number 2 is a partial claim. A partial claim takes the outstanding payments and puts it at the back of your loan into a zero interest second lien called a partial claim. And this happens in order to bring your loan current. This is available only until October 28th of 2022, unless it's extended. It's available to borrowers who can afford, again, their old payment, but cannot afford to pay off their arrearage. So those missed payments during the forbearance, the borrower does not have the funds to bring that current. We're current or less than 30 days past due on March 1st of 2020, or their loan originated on or after March 1st of 2020. So this is an important part, because for those of you that were already more than 30 days behind on March 1st, you will want to look into some of the other options. Also received a COVID-19 forbearance or missed at least one payment under the terms of their original mortgage note during the pandemic. Currently occupies the property securing the guaranteed loan as their residence. And the maximum partial claim available is 30% of the borrower's current unpaid principal balance. So say you currently owe $150,000, the most that can be put into the back of your loan is give or take $50,000. VA post-forbearance option number 3 is a deferment. This is similar to a partial claim, but it will be available for a longer time. It takes the outstanding payments and places it at the back of your loan, and it'll show up on your statement as a deferred principal balance. So it's not a formal second lien on your home like the partial claim. It's actually just a deferral of the principal. And this is available to borrowers who can afford their old pre-hardship mortgage payments but cannot afford to pay their arrearage. So similar to the person looking at the partial claim, were current or less than 120 days past due on March 1st. or their loan originated after March 1st. So as you can see here, there's an expanded eligibility. So you could have been a few months behind on March 1st and still qualify for this deferment. The deferred amount must be paid by the existing loan maturity date when the property is sold or any time the loan is paid in full. So again, you won't have to do anything with this deferred amount of principal. It'll just stay at the back of your loan unless you do any of these things, in which case you will have to deal with it. Post-forbearance option number 4 is a COVID-19 refund modification, and this is a combination of a loan modification and a partial claim / refund, and I'll explain what that means. This is available to borrowers who cannot afford their pre-hardship mortgage payment, meaning you're looking for a lower payment or payment reduction, were current or less than 120 days past due on March 1st, 2020, or a loan originated after March 1st. And the servicer is going to be looking to target a 20% reduction in your principal and interest payment after it does the following. So the servicer will add any outstanding payments due back into the principal, so recapitalize it. The servicer will reduce the interest-bearing principal balance by purchasing the arrearage up to 30%. So this is the refund. This is where the VA refunds the servicer for up to 30% of your principal balance. So the VA waterfall of loss mitigation options is a little bit different. In most cases, you see a servicer reduce the interest rate or extend the term before it does anything with the principal balance. For veterans, the servicer is going to be looking to get a refund of up to 30%, of reducing your balance that you have to pay interest on first. And then it'll reduce your interest rate to the current market rate. Again, the market rate right now is higher than it was a few years ago, so it may be higher than your current rate. So when you look at the COVID-19 refund modification as an option, you want to make sure that the other options that we discussed previously are not a better fit, especially if you have an interest rate that is lower than the current market rate, which is 5.5 or higher. You want to make sure that this is the right fit. If you have any questions about what the best solution to your arrearage or your delinquent balance is, please reach out to us. I'll be sharing our contact information shortly. So the servicer would reduce the interest-bearing principal. It'll set the interest rate to current market rate, and then it will extend the term of the loan by 30 years if necessary to reach that 20% reduction in P&I payment. A trial modification is not required, so you do not need to make trial loan payments in order to qualify for the COVID-19 refund modification. And again, the partial claim, or the refund as it's called here, must be paid by the existing maturity date if you sell the property or anytime the loan is paid in full, for example, in the case of a refinancing. Post-forbearance option number 5 is the My Home CT Pandemic Relief Program. Your servicer may or may not mention this to you, but if you owe less than $50,000, you should tap in and apply to the My Home CT program first. You can receive up to $50,000 in grant assistance to pay off outstanding mortgage payments, property taxes, or homeowners insurance, water and sewer bills and other utility bills, condo common charges or special assessments, or any fees or costs advanced by your servicer if you have a reverse mortgage. In order to qualify for My Home CT, your financial hardship must have occurred sometime between October 19 and present day. The administrators of the program did add a cushion to the beginning of the pandemic because they understand that some folks may have been behind by a few months, but had every intention to catch up in the new year, and were not expecting a pandemic to reduce their hours or to lose their job as a result of COVID-19. So there is that cushion built in where the hardship could have started a little bit before the actual shutdown and pandemic started. The property that you are applying for must be your primary residence and be a 1 to 4 unit home. You must also have a household income of less or equal to 150% of your area median income. I've linked a tool here that CHAFA, the state agency administering My Home CT, has provided to help you determine what your area median income is. Also, this link here is a live link to the My Home CT application page in the portal. I have found it very easy to use, but they do also have a list of resource centers on this page. If you need any assistance in uploading documents, scanning documents, or completing the application itself, you can head to this webpage and look for the resource center closest to you, make an appointment, and the folks at those centers will be helping people submit applications. If your mortgage arrearage exceeds the program maximum of $50K, I still suggest that you apply, and you can combine the My Home CT funds of up to $50K with one of the loss mitigation options we discussed above. Of course, you would want to take free grant money before you take on additional debt, but you have to make sure you apply for My Home CT first. I cannot guarantee that if you bring your mortgage current through a deferment or a modification or a partial claim, that you will get approved for My Home CT funds. It's just hard to know what they will do, and I imagine they will prioritize folks that are behind on their mortgage. So strongly encourage you to apply for My Home CT first. VA loan servicers are strongly encouraged by the VA to place the loan in a 60-day forbearance to suspend the foreclosure action when it receives notice that a borrower has applied for My Home CT. My Home CT should be notifying your servicer that you have applied, but in order to make sure that you are safe from foreclosure, I would also notify your servicer directly that you have applied for My Home CT and request a 60-day forbearance or suspension of foreclosure action while you're being considered for the program. If you have any questions about which option is the best for you, or if you feel like your servicer has mishandled your mortgage post-forbearance, please feel free to contact us. This is our intake line. We have help available in English and Spanish, and we can also access translators for other languages upon your request. You can also schedule a virtual advice session. This is a video conference with one of us attorneys to discuss your situation particularly. And at the Fair Housing Center, we also provide help with housing discrimination. So if you feel like you have experienced discrimination in the rental market or from your landlord, feel free to reach out to us for legal advice. Our mission is to ensure that all people have equal access to housing opportunity in Connecticut that is free from discrimination. I hope this presentation has been helpful. And again, if you have any questions, please feel free to contact us. Thank you.